This is going to be a detailed guide on how to use anti-tank infantry weaponry in Gates of Hell. First tip in this guide is just to go over the value proposition of AT infantry. For reference, the German AT infantry costs 95, and you get a Panzerfaust and a Panzerschreck. And then just for reference, a Tiger tank is 1300 MP. So 95 for the AT infantry, 1300 for a Tiger tank. So the equivalent AT infantry for this Tiger is this many guys. So do you think you'd be able to sneak one of these guys and get a good shot on a Tiger? I bet you probably could. So that's one of the most important things, is just understanding the value proposition that AT infantry offers. Even if you lost 4 of these squads and get a kill on a heavy tank, or any tank in particular, you're probably going to break even. So super economical. That's one of the main reasons why AT infantry is so good. So before I demonstrate proper attack protocol with the AT infantry, we're going to go over the 3 types of strategies you can implement. Number 1, I'm calling passive and ambush. Number 2, I'm calling prone, stealthy, slow. And number 3, I'm calling aggressive. So we'll go through those now. So number 1 is the passive and ambush. So we'll lie our guys down, we'll find a bush, probably further up past the line of contact, and in an area where you think enemy infantry aren't likely to be or come soon. And then we're just basically waiting for the tank to push up to be in our engagement range. So I just run these guys up just so you can sleep. We're pretending this is an enemy. So we'll put these guys in a bush, hide them. They're always on hold fire as before. We're basically just waiting for this to go in range. So that's the passive ambush tactic. That's number 1. Here, the next tactic is prone, stealthy, and slow. This works best when tanks have pushed past their infantry screens, but the terrain is pretty open. Another tip within this tip is to make sure to use micro terrain. If we zoom in here, we can see that there's a small kind of valley here that we can actually use for some cover. And if we zoom out here, there's some more here. We can even sneak right around and get a side shot. So use micro terrain. Shift click to move along the micro terrain, and then come in from a flank where you can hit them in the side or back. Even if this takes a little while, sometimes this is a good strategy. So this is the prone, stealthy, slow maneuver. And lastly, we have just the aggressive maneuver. We'll try to use as many cover points as possible and move from cover to cover. So we'll kind of zoom out and kind of draw in our mind. Okay, well, I'll probably want to run to here. I want a side shot, so maybe I'll run to this one. That looks like about the range I'm going to engage. So I'll probably take direct control. We're going to go over the actual hotkeys and just protocols for doing the AT attack. Because this is pretty high risk, high reward, so it's good to get it. Make sure you're doing it right. Memorize this, and I'll do it as in detailed as possible. If you don't know, the Panzerschreck has a 70-meter range. You actually want to be stopping a little under that, around 68. That gives you a little wiggle room if he backs up, or if you're strafing backwards. So 68 is where you're going to want to stop running and take the shot. Cat's biting me. So we're running towards the enemy. We're tracking. We're waiting for 68. As soon as it hits, we're going to press E. We're going to right-click. We're going to aim at the tank, find a weak spot, fire. And that's how you do it. So I'm going to just do it one more time. Thanks, Dad. So we'll just pretend he's still alive. So we're right-clicking. We're tracking the distance. As soon as it's 68, press E, right-click, fire. You have to get that really down and make it smooth, because if you're fucking around at all, you're going to miss a lot of kills. So next, I got some smaller tips for you. Be aware, changing stance does affect accuracy, although the effect is pretty minimal. You might not even be able to see the difference. So there's standing up. There's standing down. It is ever so slightly smaller, but it's probably not going to be a deciding factor. But it is a little more accurate if you lay down. But a lot of times that's not going to be possible. So just be aware, it is a little more accurate if you can lie down. Another tip I got for you is that Panzerschrecks are actually pretty effective against emplacements, artillery, anti-tank guns, MGs, anything like that. If you can get in range of them, they'll do pretty good damage. Between 2 and 3 shots to totally destroy them. And these next 2 tips are pretty good. I prefer you not spread them too far. But just so you know, the Panzerschreck shield is functional and will stop small arms. And that pairs pretty well with the next tip. This next tip you are actually honor bound not to share with anyone. You're making that pact now by continuing to watch the video. If you break it, you might bad stuff might befall you. Always peek with your Panzerschrecks on the right-hand peak, and I'll show you why that's so powerful. So you can see the guy has this rocket on the right side. If you notice, so we can take a shot here, you can see how much of our body is actually still behind cover there. We can increase our cover even more by crouching, and as you can see, with the shield being impenetrable by small arms, we only have a piece of our arm, and then a bit of our torso and our leg here showing. So if possible, peek on the right side. It's extremely powerful. I'll just show you what that looks like on the left side. You can see he's completely out. So right-hand peek. If there was a tank here, obviously you'd want to poke out on the right side instead of the left side. We can even take this to the ultimate extreme if we lie down. And again, I told you this tip is, you're not allowed to share this tip. So if you can look, I mean, good luck shooting that guy's arm. Have fun with that. So that's your tip. That's your AT tip. Like the video.